all things IHKC, what we're doing, what we're up to. And then periodically, we love to shine a light on some of our amazing members and the work that they're doing. So first things first, we're going to get a little goofy. No, we're actually not going to get goofy with you because Cynthia, our voice of God, say hello, Cynthia.
I don't like being called the voice of God.
Well, the voice of goddess. Is that what we decided last time?
I don't know what we decided.
All right. Well, we're going to come up with a fun, cutesy name, but for right now, she is the disembodied voice who is hitting your screen. But Cynthia came up with some thinkers, as Jannae called them, some thinkers for us. So we're not going to be talking about which tooth we would keep this time or our favorite dinosaur. That was her question.
Okay.
She came up with it. Well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and ask it. If you had to pick one tooth to keep, which one would you keep?
Wait, so I'm just gums?
You can only keep one.
Oh my God, I guess I gotta be able to freaking chew food. I eat a lot. I love to eat. So
you keep a molar?
Yeah.
But what do you do with like the tearing? Well, I mean, you're right. You have to chew. You can't like gum steak.
Yeah. Exactly. You make it work.
All right. Well, so we just went back to the archives for that one. We dug deep and asked a very serious question: which tooth would you keep? I do not claim that question at all. That was all Cynthia. But Cynthia has some questions for us. Are you ready?
No.
Yeah. I don't really know if I am either.
Would you like life lessons, courage, or exposed? Would I like life lessons, courage, or exposed? Exposed. Yes.
That's your like category.
I would like life lessons.
Life lessons. All right, we're gonna do a life lesson.
I think that would build
life lessons with Jannae Gammage.
As a child, what rules were made to be broken? All of them.
Oh Lord. Were you a good kid?
I really was. Yeah. But that being said, I think there's something to be said about parents. I know there's this whole thing with like gentle parenting and all that. I kind of believe in it, but like sometimes you need to, you know what I'm saying? But I do believe that like kids learn from their environment, and if you put too many rules outside of things that keep them safe, they never grow just as an individual. You know, they kind of grow into what you mold them as based on your rules and the environment you set for them. So, you know, don't jump on the table or, you know, jump off the roof, but like, if you want to wear a tutu and a Superman cape and we're going to go, sure, wear it. If you want to explore outside and that's how you have fun, sure, go ahead and do it. I'm not going to make any rules for you.
I do want to be like really, really clear here. I feel like it's very important that like really, really don't jump off the roof. Like, please.
Disclaimer, neither one of us have kids.
That's right. So I feel
do what you want with that information.
Life advice in general, don't jump off the roof.
Don't jump off
unless you're like base jumping or something, in which case
you can jump off the bed.
Yeah.
Conquer your fears.
Yeah.
Just no fears that will actually kill you.
Yeah. All right. Well, so I was a super nerdy child. And I was a very angelic, like, so when I was like a really young kid, no rules were meant to be broken. I was very much a rule follower. When I got into like middle school, high school, I started smoking, and I had two goals with that. Number one, I was a vocalist and I wanted my voice to sound like Bonnie Raitt. And I wanted to be seen as cool. I wanted kids to stop picking on the quiet, nerdy girl. Quiet, it's true. I was also very quiet. And so that was my rule that was made to be broken. I was very stubborn about it, but I started smoking at a pretty early age, and that was my rule that was made to be broken. I know, gross, right? But in general, I was not a rule breaker.
So the rules I broke were not drugs or alcohol related, but my first business was started from breaking rules.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I got in trouble.
No, I want to drill down on that now.
Yeah, I was selling stuff in school, which was totally not allowed. But
See, I feel like that's kind of a bullshit rule. Like you
It
want to
is a
foster that
bullshit rule. Thank
entrepreneurial mindset.
They shut me
and
down.
experience.
They shut me
Were you
down.
selling like candy bars or?
Okay, so I was selling what they were already selling and reselling it for double.
Oh, right.
But that's their fault. They did not do market
premium.
research, and their business hours were not correct. So I took advantage. Okay.
Wait. So were you like selling stuff out of the vending machine?
The bookstore, and then
Okay.
then it got to the point where I was bringing in my own stuff from like the store, like candy and things like that. You know, I expanded my operation.
But you were charging a premium for convenience and
absolutely
access.
was 100 to 150%
Brilliant.
markup.
Brilliant. I'm not at all
Yes.
surprised that you were entrepreneurial from a young age. It really does. Like anybody who knows,
I'm all about the underdog.
This one right here knows like entrepreneurial spirit right at the foundational core. So I'm not.
Yeah, I was
I'm not
14
shocked.
when I was in middle school. Never stopped.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Can't knock the hustle. Yeah. That's why we love Bliss Books and Wine, because they understand. They understand the journey. Okay. I feel good about that question. What do we got next?
Lauren, your choice. Courage or exposed?
I feel like courage, but I also feel like exposed is probably going to be like the heavy hitter question. Mm-hmm. So we'll save that one for last. Yeah, let's do courage.
Courage.
Okay.
Where is the lack of courage holding you back?
Oh, I have like 5 answers to this question, but do you have something that immediately springs to mind?
Courage and trusting others is probably holding me back. What's funny is my company is created to kind of de-bias and de-risk the due diligence process, which is pretty much just, I trust you to give you whatever.
Yeah.
And I am like, when it comes to due diligence, like, you want to be my friend, I need everything about you type of deal before I can accept you as playing that role in my life. Other than that, we're like associates, or if I want to do business, due diligence is very high. If I want to start a relationship, my picker is off, but due diligence is still high.
I can see that about you, by the way.
Like,
we've no that you that due diligence is important to you. Like, all right. Anyway,
you gotta put in some time before you're like, really.
You've got to earn.
Before I say you're my friend,
Jannae's friendship.
We have probably been talking and friends for real, doing friend things for like 2-3 years.
Yeah. You know what though? Like, I'm actually kind of the same. Like, I have a lot of people that I enjoy, but like the people that I allow into my inner circle, like you gotta prove it. You know, you gotta really mean it. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if that's like an entrepreneurial trait. Maybe not. I don't know.
We study
trust but verify is kind of where I live. So as far as, all right, what is I just had this conversation like 3 different ways this morning. So I have difficulty trusting in myself. And I feel like trusting in myself, like that's a courageous act to get rid of the imposter syndrome and to bravely, loudly believe in yourself. So I think that's where I have several different aspects in life where this manifests itself, but the real like crux of the issue is that trust in oneself. And like, I'll give you an example. So we literally just had this happen where, you know, InnovateHer, we have kicked off a capital sponsorship campaign. And Jackie McCarthy, who's on our leadership team, have been working very, very closely with her. And she has been killing it, creating strategy and materials and things like that. But Jackie was like, you know, let's have our target be $1 million. And there is nobody who believes in InnovateHer KC more than me. I promise you. And I mean, I'm sitting in a room of people who believe in IHKC, but as the steward, I have to be the one who believes in what we do the most. Right. However, when she said 1 million, I choked. I was like, and then I started to laugh. And I've had 2 people in this room when I said the $1 million, they were like, yeah, we could do that. And in my head, there's a lot of doubt. And it's not that I don't believe in innovator. It's that I struggle to envision that level of commitment from myself. Like, I think I kind of downplay what I'm capable of. I don't know. So that's where I struggle. Like the courage to trust in me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I need to get better at it. But yes, it's holding me back. That was a downer of a question, by the way.
How do you get better at it? What one thing can you identify within yourself that can help you move forward through that?
I don't know. I mean, it's been a process. You know, I've along my journey, I have slowly but surely started to trust myself more and understand that, you know, there are things that I'm really good at. There are things that I'm not. You know, I need to focus on those things. But as far as getting better at it, I think you just kind of have to do it, like take the leap, you know, and that's why I'm so glad that I have people around me who push me. You know, like I've told Jackie multiple times, and I think I've probably told all of you, like, I'm never going to be upset at you for pushing me. I might not agree all the time, but I'm never going to be mad if you're just like, hey, Lauren, quit fucking up. So I think you just kind of have to do it, like jump in. And I mean, it's the entrepreneurial way. Like you jump off the cliff and you grow wings on the way down. So it's one of those things where it's like, regardless of what I'm feeling, I have to do. And having support like you and our leadership team and our board of directors to do that, it's been enormously helpful. But I feel like it's one of those things where it's like kind of like a muscle. You do it often enough and you keep on practicing and flexing it, and you're going to get stronger. So that's where I'm at. Yeah. All right. Next up, what do we got? Third but final.
We have a comment.
Ooh.
Latia Johnson from LinkedIn said, keep going, it will happen, and we will grow. Take small risks and accept the challenge of being pushed into uncomfortable spaces.
Yes, I love that. And thank you so much for sharing that insight. We love to hear from folks playing at home. By the way, we're about to have a conversation with Jannae here. So if you have questions, if you have thoughts and comments, please be sure to shout them out in the comments. We will say hi. We'll address your questions. We really want this to be a conversation. So keep insights like that coming. And you said it was Latia? Latia, thank you so much for sharing. That's awesome. I love that insight.
Okay. Final question.
Bum, 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 bum.
That was great for this. Which historical character could you have been in a past life?
Oh, crap.
And why?
Totally forgot about this one.
I mean, I obviously have to pick a historical Black woman. It's only right. Which one do I choose from?
Right.
Am I like the Harriet Tubman of fundraising?
I think-
Okay, that was.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. So
I think
that
that's
that could
Wait
have
a
been
minute.
disrespectful. Hold on.
No way. I think you're honoring the legacy of Harriet.
We gotta go back and get people.
You're building,
you know what I mean?
building on her work though. Like she
gotta
was
go
all
back.
about freedom and choice and allowing, well, Black people in general, but the enslaved, the freedom to live life as they wanted to. And now you're just adding to that legacy.
I'm gonna stick with Harriet Tubman.
Get it.
Tubman, because I know a little bit more than like the general thing of she, helped freed however many slaves. Like she was a spy. Like she was in rooms that she should not have been in. And sometimes I walk in the rooms, I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? How did I get in here? You know what I mean?
I totally
And
have those thoughts
I had
too.
to have a conversation with Dan Smith during GW because he's like, dude, you gotta. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I need to lean into that and stop saying stuff like, what am I doing in here? Because like, no, I'm supposed to be in here. Not only am I supposed to be in here, Lauren's supposed to be in here. You're supposed to be in here. You watching, you're supposed to be in here. And if they're not going to let you in here, I'm going to make them let you in here. And so I'm going to go with Harriet Tubman. Boom. Put me on a dollar bill or whatever bill.
Oh, isn't she going in the 5?
I thought it was, yeah.
Was that?
I thought it was 20.
I don't know. I'm just super excited.
I don't know which one.
I could have sworn it was 20.
Yeah.
It still hasn't happened.
I
So
know,
what's
right?
up, Department of Treasury?
Hey, get on that.
Tag them.
Liz Wickermine said valid.
Yeah.
Aw. Thanks,
You
Liz.
belong in
I
every
love
room you
them.
want to be in.
I love
So
them.
much expertise.
And it's the 20th, apparently.
Okay, it's the 20. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, it's not Googleable right now. Okay.
Can I change my
I know.
LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Harriet Tubman.
I'm the
of
Harriet
fundraising.
fundraising. I dig it.
Comment from Kristen Abernathy from LinkedIn. She said it's enormously hard to see our own potential the way that others do. You're doing amazing things and trust the team around you to tell you the truth.
Yes. Beautiful.
The
I think
important
that
part about
actually
being
speaks to what both
courageous
of I just said.
is
Yeah,
surrounding yourself with courageous people.
that's true.
I'm not afraid to go raise 1 million. To me is light.
Yeah.
So when you said 1 million,
I know. Yeah, like that. I mean,
easy.
that seems like such a big number to me. But if I truly have faith, and I absolutely have faith that InnovateHer can do it, like I feel like that extends to me. So I don't know. All right. What historical? This is the first one that popped into my head, and I'm not convinced it's a fantastic answer, but I went to Joan of Arc. And here's why. So somebody, I had an executive coach for a while, and Rebecca of Green Boat Coaching, by the way, she's incredible, and an innovator. But she told me, like, she reframed what we were trying to do with InnovateHer, and she was like, Lauren, you're, in addition to building a business, you're also trying to start a movement. And I would, there's a caveat there. I'm not starting anything. I am completing a movement, or continuing to work on a movement that was started long ago. But that being said, like, I'm attempting to do two things at once, which is the day-to-day minutia of, funding and marketing and recruitment and, all of that stuff. But then there's also the very impact-oriented piece. Like, how do we reach more leaders? How do we find more marginalized individuals and help lift them up and amplify them? And that's a very big thing. And so I went with Joan of Arc in my head, because she kind of had to do the same thing. Like, she had to go through like the machinations of rising up through the ranks within the military, but then she also had to build that kind of coalesced movement. Like, you not only do you have to elevate me into the position that I need to be in, but you also have to believe in me. And she was asking people to believe in her at a time when people didn't believe in folks that looked, thought, and acted like her.
Women, period.
Exactly. Like, nobody believed in women,
citizen.
and she was still able to rise through the muck and create that movement. That's not the word that I'm looking for, but create that sense of community and sense of belief in what she was trying to build and what she was trying to do. And so that's where I went. I don't know. I'm sure that I'm going to have a much better answer like at 3 in the morning.
Check out our new LinkedIn profiles. Harriet Tubman of Fundraising, Joan of Arc for Women and Networking.
That's right. We're going to get our army together, ladies. We write at dawn. All right. So that was good. I liked that.
I like that too.
Yeah. All
I
right.
agree.
Well, friends, if you have any more questions for us, make sure that you pop them in the comments. You should be catching this on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. So please feel free to chime in. But now we get to the really, really, really fun part. I've mentioned her name a couple of times, and it actually, I just realized that I did not introduce her when we kicked off. But today we have with us the fabulous Jannae Gammage. And Jannae is one of the co-founders of a startup by the name of Foresight. We're going to hear a little bit about that. Also director of marketing for InnovateHer KC on our leadership team. And thank you for that, my friend. But first things first, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
As she said, I am Jannae Gammage, Harriet Tubman of Fundraising.
Are you serious?
I need to stop before it gets ingrained in my brain, and I'm like, I'm Jannae Gammage.
You've like internalized it now. Like, you're gonna find it. Be talking to like a VC investor.
Exactly.
Just be like, "Hello, I'm the Harriet Tubman of Fundraising," and they're gonna look at you like you've lost your damn mind.
Exactly. But I've been an entrepreneur, if you were on earlier, since 14 years old. It's just kind of in my blood. I like to call myself a problem solver because I know that till the day I'm no longer on this earth, I will be solving problems. And it is my goal that even when I am gone from this earth, that some of the solutions that I have created will continue to solve problems and the new problems that appear after I'm gone, right? So Foresight is my second tech company. And, you know, as a founder since 14, as a Black female founder, I have experienced the ups and downs, mostly downs, of trying to raise capital for these solutions that I've created to solve these problems. And with this one, it's really about the founders, where we are similar to the Credit Karma for early stage startups. How it works is a founder gets on, and just as you would as a consumer on Credit Karma, you get your recommendations for fundraising. You build your business in there. You get a fundability score. You get clarity, essentially. You understand where you're at, and you understand how those that are deploying capital view you. That is what is most important to us, because that is the information that they keep from founders, which is why less than 1% raise money. And when I say less than 1%, I'm saying overall. We won't get into the statistics of Black women or under marginalized founders. Conversation for a different time.
I certainly can. So I believe, well, hold on, context. So I believe last time they did a study, it was 2021 that I'm aware of, but it was still, we're hanging tight, where women-led startup ventures get backed to the tune of 2.2%. And then when you're talking about women of color,
years before that,
it's probably similar.
The same, 2.2%.
The same, yeah. Like we're kind of stalled, y'all. But when you're talking about women of color, and specifically Black women, I believe it's last time I checked, it was like 0.0006%, which is insane. And
that's an increase.
It's a problem. Yeah. That's crazy. And here's the deal. Like, one of the things that I love most about Foresight, we talk a lot about unconscious bias in venture capital circles. And the fact is, that is a huge discrepancy. And there are any number of reasons that we can attribute it to it. Like, it's not just one reason. We don't have enough female founders filling the pipeline. We don't have female founders who are have been taught or able to easily move within venture capital circles. They're dealing with unconscious bias when they're pitching. But I love that about Foresight, because what you're doing is you're taking the guesswork out, and you're basically saying, like, if we sit down here and we standardize our metrics and measurements, then I can provide to you a clean picture of our startup's health, right?
Yes.
So talk to us a little bit about that, because it's my favorite part of you, as who you are, but also what you do.
Talk to you about the actual metrics?
Well, so first, I do want to get to that, but first things first, like, talk about the unconscious bias that you're trying to eradicate or circumvent.
So, venture capital industry is, man, how do I say this? We're on LinkedIn, so let me keep it politically correct. Bias and ego driven. It is not standardized, which how can you, it goes back to just even the criminal justice system. How can you, a system that wasn't built for you, how can you thrive? As a founder, how can you thrive where there's no system, there's no standards, there's no information to truly tell you what you need to be successful, what you need to build a company that is scalable, backable, bankable, all the things, get into accelerators. I mean, it is just a high turnover, churn of founders who have these brilliant and innovative ideas, diverse founders who are not getting the capital, who are not getting the opportunities, who don't understand if they just literally did this one thing, they would raise $10 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that information is not out there, because they don't want it out there. So we're challenging that. I think transparency and clarity is essential if the government is truly, or the economy and those in charge are truly about building a thriving economy, supporting diverse and innovative founders, lending and deploying VC to diverse and innovative founders, then the first step is to be transparent and clear on how you are evaluating them so that they can reach the mark, period.
Right. And quit moving the goalposts.
That part. I honestly, I just got so tired of seeing tweets that said, oh, Black founders get 0.6% of venture capital. And it was like coming from venture capitalists. They were tweeting that. Founders were, of course, tweeting it. All these support organizations, they're tweeting it. And it's just like, why is everyone just tweeting about this? Where are the solutions? And there were none. So, okay, we're going to solve this problem then. I'm tired of tweeting. I'm tired of think pieces and panels and fireside chats. Those are all good and they give a lot of information, but there's no action associated with it.
Yeah. Well, so I have a question about this, but first I'm going to set the stage a little bit. So I know a bunch of female founders. InnovateHer knows a bunch of female founders. It's just the nature of what we do. And what's really interesting to me, and I think I'm going to position this kind of as like a use case for Foresight. So first things first, a lot of the startup founders that I know, they are leading startups that are building and developing female-led, female-focused products. And so like an example would be Botify.io. Carlonda McKinney, one of our faves, previously on our leadership team. She's amazing, but she's creating a technology solution for the retail space, which I think to some VC funders, like it seems to be like a very female focused product. I wouldn't agree. Like, I think that there are a lot of different applications, but I've heard from her that, you know, a lot of the feedback that she got is that VC funders who are predominantly white, cisgender, heterosexual male, by and large, they don't understand female-led products. And so, like, I was talking to a founder last week during GEW, and she was like, yeah, I was pitching to a team of investors, and one of the guys was saying, I need to go talk to my wife about this because he had no personal need to use this product. He did not understand the use of the product. And so he was going to go talk to his wife. But the fact is, like, you should, regardless of who you talk to or if you could ever use the product, you should understand things like traction and market potential. And like, these are very data-driven metrics that have nothing to do with whether or not you would use the product. And so that to me is kind of an instance where Foresight could step in and say, like, hey, look, you know, just because you don't want to use the product doesn't mean that we don't have, you know, X amount of customers on our pre-sale list. And that doesn't mean that we don't have X amount of VC dollars already invested or whatever it is, right? Is that?
Yeah, so Foresight does solve that problem. But I want to address what you just said in two ways. So the first thing is speaking specifically to that use case, Carlonda, which is a fit.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to say it wrong because there's lots of fit finders, but none of them, they're doing it the wrong way. According to Carlonda, they're doing it by saying these fit you or something. She's going after the brands and saying what brands fit you, which is what actually solves the problem. Right. So one, with that, it is a female-driven brand, but who buys this stuff? Once she captures female, she captures almost the entire market. So for an investor to say this is a female brand, that is one of the problems we're solving. You have one perspective. And the thing with venture capital specifically is I'm an investor and I hear your pitch, Lauren. I'm one of however many, 100,000, which you could never speak to 100,000. Yeah. And just like there's 1,000 new companies started every day, I could never speak to 1,000 companies a day, right? So what this is doing is making sure that I'm talking to you because I am interested in a community-driven, woman-founded brand. And you're talking to me because that's who I want to invest in, right?
Yeah.
And we're having the right conversations. So that eliminates that. Another thing with venture capital is there's no real science to it. You know, did you know that pretty much about 90% of VC decisions when it comes to early stage investment is made on gut?
I have heard that. I actually think it might have been Darcy Howe who told me that.
On
maybe.
gut.
But yeah, like gut leaves a lot of room for error.
Your gut, my gut,
Yeah.
your gut, their gut. And when we think about the gut decisions, when it comes to VC, a majority of them are white male, older. So their gut is a lot different than where innovation is going.
Absolutely. We're talking about the new majority people.
It does not match. So, of course, when diverse founders come with truly innovative ideas, their gut is going to tell them, based on their previous history of investment, that this is risky, too risky. The market's not good. Oh, it's only women customers or whatever else Carlonda heard. On the fact of the matter is, who has the buying power is women. Who has the buying power is, you know, BIPOC customers. We have the most. So building up products specifically for them is actually a good idea. Or right now it's seen as like, oh, why would you only target Black women? Because they spend the most money.
Right.
So, you know, that's my answer to that.
There's huge market potential. So I'm going to point folks, and I do not remember the name of this woman, but it's one of the more interesting TED Talks that I've ever seen. And it's a pretty well-known TED Talk. And Cynthia, maybe if you can like Google and find, but there's this woman, she's a doctor of psychology. And she actually got recorded venture capital pitch sessions. Like she brought together a whole bunch of them, and then she used AI to pull out language, the different trigger words or very, very weighted words that venture capital, that investors would be asking the pitchers. And what they found was that there was a huge discrepancy between the way that venture capitalists talked to male founders versus how they talked to female founders. The language that they attributed or used with male founders tended to be all about potential, you know, future growth. What are your long-term goals, things like that. Whereas the language that they used with female founders was much more protective. You know, what challenges have you experienced, or you know what we see that this number is a little off from our normal targets. Like, talk to us about that. And so the fact is, like the data shows time and time again that marginalized founders, historically excluded founders, like they get the shaft. You know, I don't think there's anybody out there who would look at the data and just be like, this is totally fine. Like 2.2%, no bigs.
Yeah.
You know, it's a real problem. So I want to ask you, just like, I want to get very tactical with you for a second. So what metrics is Foresight looking at? Like, what is the indication of health for a startup?
Yeah, a bunch of things. So one, VC we're very early in the shift of seeing the change that we want. And it's important for founders to understand that is not your only option. And that is what Foresight is trying to do as well. Like, as the VC market flips upside down, resets, all the things, banks and CDFIs and impact funds and mission-driven lenders, crowdfunding are going to be, you know, what sustains the economy for businesses when it comes to capital. So Foresight essentially is anyone who deploys capital can use Foresight to evaluate. So we work with lenders, commercial banks, we work with CDFIs, we work with impact funds, we work with, if Lauren decided to start a fund just for innovators, she would be able to use our tool. So it's anyone, any type of capital a founder can get on and figure out what the best route for them is, whether it's an accelerator, whether it's a fund, whether it's VC, all the things. What it's going to show you is whether you're bankable, backable, what your fundability is, and how you're viewed by all of these stakeholders. So that's the first thing as far as metrics.
Yeah.
The second thing is we've created something called Founder Mechanics, and is the measure of traits of the founding team, their founder team fit, and how they will be able to show up in building the company. To be clear, it is not to say you are a good or a bad founder or you can actually pull this off. It is to show your challenges that you will have as a founder. For me, or for my Foresight score, I am the ingenious catalyst, meaning visionary, meaning I can delegate, meaning I can strategize, I can come up with a plan. But when it comes to that execution, baby, I have to find an architect, a technical person to build what I dream up, right?
Yeah.
And keep me in line and say, Jannae, like, bro, chill. Like, that's not even
I would pay you
possible.
$20 to get into a room and watch you say that to me. Like, bro, chill.
Like, that's Charlotte. She tries to be nice. Charlotte's my CTO, Charlotte Clark.
Yep.
She's brilliant. She's
also
technical.
on the IHKC leadership team.
She's a builder. She can code. She's a software engineer.
She's amazing.
She's a startup consultant. So she's very nice in her approach. So she doesn't come out and say, bro, like, no. She'll like say a sentence that makes me like think like, what are you talking about? So even today, right before we came here, I'm like talking and we can do this. And then for go to market, I'm going to switch it to this. And she's like, okay, yeah, you need to go into detail. You need to do this, this, and this, because right now you're talking about blah, blah, blah. And this is how this works. And then I'm like, oh, let me tone it down a bit. Yeah. Okay. That's how but that's what makes us a good team. I mean, I'm biased on founder mechanics. She's the tactician to your vision. Yeah. Yeah. I'm biased, but our Foresight score is like off the charts because we complement each other in so many different ways, right? And we still need one more person to build out our perfect founding team, which we're working on. Hopefully the NDA gets signed and we get started. But that is what Founder Mechanics does. So that is the next next metric, right? And probably the most important, because just like VCs being interested in, the jockey and not the horse, lenders are starting to turn an eye to qualitative aspects of the founding team and the business as well in order to make decisions. And they're incorporating AI, and that entire market is changing and shifting. That's why CDFIs and mission-driven lenders are so, so important to the community, because they don't have regulations that they have to abide by, which allows them to be flexible in their decision criteria. Yeah. So we work very well with them. Yeah. And then, of course, we have some real-time data being fed in from our partners like Crunchbase, CB Insights, Harvard Business Institute, working on a couple more that I can't say just quite yet. But all of this comes together to give a fundability score and give you a snapshot of how you appear to all these different people.
That's a lot of moving parts.
It is a lot of moving parts. Yeah. You guys, if you see Charlotte, tell her good work.
Good work, Charlotte.
She's doing good work.
Hey, Charlotte.
I can tell she's a little overwhelmed some days. She's just like, she gets it done. So.
Well, hey, real quick, just a reminder, friends, that if you have questions for Jannae, please feel free to pop them into the comments. Cynthia, do we have any comments, any questions?
No questions, but there have been some comments.
Let's hear them.
I've been getting heckled a lot, so
can we just
avoid those today? I'm not in the mood today.
This is a heckle-free zone. This is a safe space.
I don't think I said this. Bliss Books and Wine said, much needed solution. You and Charlotte rock for this one. Yes. And they also said, Lauren, in reference to Joan of Arc.
Oh, sweet.
That takes Girl on Fire to another level.
Oh, wait.
Dang.
There was a funny joke in there.
That was morbid.
I dug it.
That was morbid.
That was dark. Who was that?
Go back and watch the replay.
Okay. That was very dark. Happy Monday. All right. Well, so I'm going to ask you, one final on Foresight. Well, we still have a couple more things to do, but we're about to do the transition. Oh, okay. But so I'm going to ask you as a founder, what is one thing you wish people knew about Foresight? Like the big takeaway.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. Pressure. Pressure.
No, I don't really have an answer right now.
Okay.
I'm so deep in.
That's fine too.
Right now. And I feel like we're solving so many problems. I just want people to know that it is a founder first technology. For
Absolutely.
Sure. We're built for founders over everything. That's our little internal model. But
see, that's a great key takeaway. Okay. I love that.
Cool.
Question.
Yes.
How can we learn more?
Ha! Who asked that? Because that's nice.
I
I don't know if it's Lene or Lanisha, but we love you both.
Instagram, our website, join the waiting list. We need more founders. The more founders we have, the better our data gets, the less bias it gets. So, LinkedIn, message me, whatever.
I dropped a link to the Startland article in the chat for
cool.
Facebook and YouTube.
Nice.
We need to go back and add it to LinkedIn.
Okay. Will do. Cool. I feel like you look very earnest right now, so I'm gonna join you over here. But all right, so as far as InnovateHer, let's talk a little bit about that. That's usually kind of how we wrap up. We've got some fun things coming down the pipeline. Many of them are dependent on how together my life is, so good luck with that. But we have our monthly meetup coming up, first Tuesday of the month, every month, which I believe is December 6th. Yes, no, maybe. But we're actually going to be at Bliss Books and Wine. We've talked about them at multiple points, but we're going to be at Bliss Books and Wine because they are opening their brick and mortar, and we are very, very excited. Congratulations to Lene and Lanisha. We've talked about their trials and their tribulations and all of the hard stuff that they've had to slog through to get to this point, and we are extraordinarily proud for them to be launching, and we really want to help them show off their space. And I mean, who doesn't love wine and books? I mean, come on now. So looking forward to that. We're going to be, Mother Earth Coffee is right next door. We're going to grab coffee, and then we're going to go next door and see the space for our morning monthly meetup coffee. Keep an eye out for the InnovateHer gift guide. We have actually been getting submissions. This makes my life a little bit easier, so bless you, my friends. But we're going to put together some really, really cool products, innovator-led, innovator-owned, and created products for you. Some of the categories that we're working on are health and beauty and food and beverage. What else we got? We have experiences. And so we're going to be launching that here, hopefully over the course of the next couple of weeks, but keep an eye out for that. Cynthia, I feel like I said there was something else that I wanted to mention, and now I have forgotten what it was.
Ask me that again in like 2 minutes.
Nope. I remembered.
Link to the holiday gift guide.
I remembered. We have a new board of directors. So not quite ready to announce. We actually have a meeting tomorrow. We're going to be introducing, getting to know everybody, but keep an eye out for announcements regarding our new IHKC board of directors. We are very, very excited to have these amazing leaders join our team. All of it's for you, my friends. We want to get the right people in place, have rock stars ready to help promote, amplify, elevate women leaders. That is what we do. So that is what we have coming up pretty soon. Keep an eye on our socials. Sometimes I forget things at this portion of the chat, and then I have to go back and promote stuff. So do not rely on my memory. Keep an eye out on our social media. We always make sure to post a lot of stuff. Looks like we have a question.
One final question.
Yes.
For both of you. What are you grateful for?
Is this because Thanksgiving is coming up?
Oh,
okay. Did you ask it, or did somebody in the comments ask it?
I popped it up on our.
What are you grateful for? Oh man, you can think on it. I'll go ahead and I'll take the hit this time. I am grateful for so many things right now. Yeah, that's it. I'm grateful for all the things. I just think that everything's amazing all the time. No, I'm right now, I'm extraordinarily grateful to have human beings like the two in this room, Cynthia and Jannae. Met with Jessica Powell and Jackie McCarthy, also on our leadership team this morning. They're killing it on the fundraising front for us. I am so extraordinarily grateful to be able to surround myself with such badass human beings who are so invested in the success of InnovateHer KC. So that's the big thing that I'm grateful for right now. Grateful for my husband, grateful for the IHKC community, grateful that I have a house over my head, like a roof over my head. I am extraordinarily grateful, and I kind of like my life, you guys, but mostly because I really like the people that I'm surrounded by. That would be you, baby. What are you doing? All right, that's me.
That's the same for me. People, the people that are in my life right now, whether through business, family, partner, friends, community, everyone. I'm really grateful for all the connections that I have right now, the active connections in my life right now. They're coming in clutch. And I'm grateful to be able to pour into the people around me as well. I'm grateful that I've gotten to a space where I can do that. I feel like that's my greatest purpose. So to be operating in that is like, I'm very fulfilled right now.
I'm so grateful for you. I like this one a lot. She's pretty cool. So is that one. You can't see her, but she's beautiful and lovely and has been laughing her ass off at us for like the past, 25, 30 minutes?
46.
Holy shit, are you serious?
Help me write my book.
Oh my God, okay. Speaking of, no.
Wait, I asked them in the comments
Okay.
to put what they're grateful for. And Bliss Books and Wine said they're grateful for the support of their Kansas City community and family. No place like it.
We love you, Bliss Books and Wine. You're amazing. Really quickly, hey, voice of goddess or whatever the fuck. Tell us about the.
That's my LinkedIn tag.
There you go. Voice of goddess or whatever the fuck. That's okay, because we talked. So Alea is our finance manager for InnovateHer KC, but what's going on the business card someday is the finance and shit, because that's what she does, finance and shit. But hey, you, Cynthia, would you like to share some of the exciting things that you have launching coming down the pipeline? I feel like this would be an appropriate time.
Absolutely.
She
How
pulled
well
out-
can you catch?
Oh, she was already digging as soon as you started. So, Cynthia.
She knew it was coming. Okay, hold on. So Cynthia, tomorrow, we'll be launching Decoding Joy. By the way, I really loved being a part of the cover selection process. She put up a poll.
This cover is nice.
It is, and it's got a really good tactile feel too. But you can definitely pick up Decoding Joy through Launch Crate Publishing and Bliss Books. Bliss Books and Wine is just like all over the place. We love you so much. But yeah, so pick up your own copy of Decoding Joy. I imagine, and I'm going to give you a little spoiler for the IHKC gift guide, but we do actually have a bookie section. And I think maybe some Cynthia Fails, CL Fails books might be mentioned.
I think I submitted that one.
Yeah. Oh, did you this one?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So that'll be on there. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But we love to support amazing female authors. Go out and buy books. Can I read an excerpt?
Sure.
Oh, what you got?
I'm nervous.
So it's called Decoding Joy, Creating Space and Grace to Grow Hope. This is from chapter 8.
You nerd face.
The truth is that joy is pretty simple. Joy shows up where it's welcome. Joy shows up where it's invited. Just like us. Well, most of us anyway. We show up where we're welcome. We show up where we're invited. And if the vibe is off, we usually don't stay. Sometimes we don't even go. Joy is the same way. And if you want to hire me for the audio book.
I feel hidden talent. We uncover hidden talents here.
That spoke to me. That spoke to me. I have felt like I wanted everybody else to hear it too.
Okay.
You are the creator. It's you.
Beautiful.
It's you.
Hey, and you know what? I do kind of want to do this with you. I want to take a moment, and friends who are watching at home, I don't care that we can't see or hear you. I want to feel the community, and I want to feel a heavy, hefty round of applause for Cynthia
You gotta do a
Fucking
slow
fails.
clap.
Total bad. You're doing a slow clap? It's not the 80s. Calm down. All right. Long live the slow clap. All right. So check out your copy of Decoding Joy. Keep an eye out for awesome InnovateHer news and things happening. Keep your eye on Foresight as well and connect with Jannae because she's doing amazing things alongside.
Connect with me anyway. Just
Yeah.
'cause.
Yeah, because she's super cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we just like her.
Basically.
That is all I have. Cynthia, you want to do your magic and take us out? You know what to say. I always forget.
As always, yes, make sure that you help us beat these tricky algorithms. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Help us get the word out on Foresight and InnovateHer KC to as many people as possible. We can't do that without your help. And we love you so much for it.
Mwah!
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
Hey, yeah. Yeah. That was such a badass movie. All right, we out. Are we still recording?
Yeah, we're still-
Okay. Wakanda forever. Absolutely amazing.